Once upon a time, in the Asian steppe, there lived a group of people known as the Mongols. They were nomads, constantly on the move with their herds of sheep, goats, horses, camels, and yaks. Led by their fearless leader, Genghis Khan, they roamed the land, living in temporary camps made of circular felt tents called yurts. Life on the steppe was harsh, but the Mongols were a resilient people. Their clothing was warm and practical, made from felt and animal furs to withstand the unforgiving climate. Men and women alike wore similar attire: baggy trousers, long jacket robes, and conical hats with ear flaps to shield them from the elements. Their diet consisted mainly of dairy products, such as cheese, yogurt, and butter, supplemented by meat acquired through hunting and occasional special hunts organized to stock up for the winter or for tribal feasts. Mare's milk was fermented into kumis, a mildly alcoholic drink enjoyed by many. In Mongol society, the division of labor was not rigid. While men often hunted, women played vital roles in tending to the animals, setting up camps, preparing food, and even ruling as regents in the absence of male leaders. Women enjoyed more rights than in many other cultures of the time, with the ability to own and inherit property. Religion also played a significant role in Mongol life, with both men and women actively involved in religious practices. As the Mongols traveled and conquered, they brought with them their cultural traditions, connecting the Eastern and Western worlds through expanded trade routes and diplomatic exchanges. As the Mongol tribes roamed the vast expanses of the Asian steppe, their beliefs were as diverse as the land itself. Their religion, a blend of animism, ancestor worship, and shamanism, permeated every aspect of their lives. Spirits dwelled in the elements: fire, earth, and water, and in the awe-inspiring landscapes they encountered, from towering mountains to raging storms. Shamans, revered figures who entered trance-like states, were believed to commune with these spirits, guiding lost souls and foretelling the future. Among the Mongols, there was reverence for various deities, including the Earth Mother, Atugin, and the sky god Tungri, who bestowed upon them a divine mandate to rule the world. It was under the leadership of Genghis Khan, a visionary born from hardship, that the Mongols began their ascent to power. Raised in the harsh realities of nomadic life, Genghis learned the ways of warfare and leadership from a young age. Through a combination of diplomacy, warfare, and fear, he united the disparate Mongol tribes under his rule. In 1206, at a grand assembly known as a Kurultai, Genghis Khan was proclaimed the Great Khan, the universal ruler of the Mongols. Under his leadership, the Mongols adopted a written language and a code of law, laying the foundations for a vast empire. With the establishment of the Yam, a network of relay stations for messengers, communication across the empire became more efficient. The Mongols, renowned for their equestrian skills and mastery of the bow, embarked on campaigns of conquest, expanding their realm across Asia. But their conquests were not just about territorial expansion. They were driven by a belief in their divine mission to rule the world. And as they swept across continents, leaving a trail of destruction. As Genghis Khan solidified his rule over the Mongol tribes, he marshaled his forces for conquest, driven by a thirst for power and glory. With a core army of 10,000 elite warriors at his command, known as the Kesiktin, and additional troops drawn from allied tribes and conquered territories, Genghis set his sights on expanding his domain. His first target was the Jin state in northern China, a land ripe for plunder and conquest. The lightning speed of the Mongol cavalry, coupled with their ruthless tactics, struck fear into the hearts of the Jin defenders. City after city fell to the relentless advance of Genghis Khan's forces, forcing the Jin to retreat southward. Simultaneously, Genghis turned his attention to the Tangut state of Xia, meeting little resistance as he swept through northern China. The riches of the Song dynasty beckoned, but the Song proved to be a more formidable foe, resisting Genghis' onslaught despite heavy losses. Undeterred, Genghis Khan extended his reach into northern Korea, pursuing the Khitan tribes who had sought refuge there. But his ambitions stretched beyond the borders of the east as he set his sights on Western Asia. The Persian Khwarezm Empire felt the full force of Mongol wrath as Genghis unleashed a massive army that swept through the region like a relentless tide. Cities fell, armies crumbled, and the land trembled under the weight of Mongol conquest. From Bukhara to Samarkand, no city was safe from the Mongol onslaught. Even as far as northern Afghanistan, the Mongol hordes left a trail of destruction in their wake. The Caspian Sea became a witness to their might as the Mongols encircled it, leaving no corner of Western Asia untouched by their conquest. But with conquest came devastation. The once thriving cities lay in ruins, their populations decimated, and their infrastructure destroyed. The Muslims of the region cursed Genghis Khan as the Accursed One, a harbinger of death and destruction. Yet, even as Genghis Khan breathed his last in 1227, his legacy lived on. With the passing of Genghis Khan, the mantle of leadership fell upon his son Ogedei Khan, who ascended to the position of Great Khan. Under his rule, the Mongol Empire continued to thrive and expand, reaching new heights of power and influence. Ogedei Khan wasted no time in consolidating his control over the vast empire his father had forged. He appointed loyal members of the imperial bodyguard and trusted ministers as regional governors, establishing a more organized system of governance. A census was conducted, and a proper tax system was implemented, bringing stability and order to the realm. In 1235, Karakorum was chosen as the capital of the Mongol Empire, a bustling hub of activity located in Mongolia. The Yam network, a system of relay stations for messengers, was expanded to facilitate communication across the empire. Trade routes were secured, and traveling merchants were provided with military protection, encouraging commerce and cultural exchange. But Ogedei's ambitions extended far beyond administrative reforms. With the aid of the brilliant general Subutai, known as one of the four hounds of the Khan, Ogedei launched campaigns of conquest across Asia. The Jin dynasty fell before the might of the Mongol armies, with the capital city of Kaifeng succumbing to Mongol forces in 1233. Korea felt the wrath of Mongol raids, and cities across Central Asia fell to Mongol conquest. Tiflis, a key city, was captured in 1235, marking the further expansion of Mongol influence. But it was in Eastern Europe that the Mongols truly made their mark. A massive army of 150,000 men, organized into 5 separate divisions, descended upon the region around the Volga River. With victories against the Bulgars, Rus, Poles, and Hungarians, the Mongols earned a fearsome reputation as the horsemen of the devil. Cities like Kiev, Krakow, Buda, and Pest fell to Mongol onslaught, their riches plundered and their populations decimated. It seemed that nothing could stop the relentless advance of the Mongol horde. Only the death of Ogedei Khan in 1241 halted the Mongol incursions into Europe, as the leaders of the empire were called back to Karakorum to elect a new Khan. Yet, the ambition of the Mongols remained undimmed, as Ogedei's successors continued to expand the borders of the empire, setting the stage for even greater conquests under the leadership of Kublai Khan. As Kublai Khan ascended to power, his ambition knew no bounds. Campaigning alongside Mongol Khan against Song China, Kublai Khan quickly made his mark on the world stage. Yet, his path to dominance was not without obstacles, as he faced fierce competition from his younger brother, Erik Boki, for the position of Great Khan. In a bitter struggle for supremacy, Kublai emerged victorious, securing his place as the ruler of the richest part of the empire. But his ambitions stretched far beyond mere conquest. Kublai coveted the title of Chinese emperor. Launching a series of devastating sieges against the Song dynasty, Kublai Khan employed superior siege weaponry acquired from the West. City after city fell under his relentless onslaught, culminating in the capture of Linan in 1276 and the collapse of the Song dynasty. With the establishment of the Yuan dynasty in 1271, Kublai Khan declared himself Emperor of China, ushering in a new era of Mongol rule. Beijing became the new capital, while Xanadu served as the emperor's summer retreat. As a ruler, Kublai proved as adept at administration as he was at conquest. He organized his vast empire into 12 provinces, promoted trade through favorable taxation policies, and invested in infrastructure, improving road and canal networks to facilitate the transportation of goods. But Kublai's ambitions extended beyond the borders of China. In 2 bold attempts to conquer Japan in 1274 and 1281, Kublai's forces were met with staunch resistance and thwarted by fierce storms known as kamikaze, or divine winds. Undeterred by these setbacks, Kublai Khan launched further campaigns in Southeast Asia, invading Vietnam, Burma, and Java. Yet, despite his military prowess, these endeavors yielded only mixed results, signaling perhaps the zenith of the Mongol Empire's power. As the 13th century drew to a close, it became increasingly clear that the Mongol Empire had reached its peak. As the great Khans focused their attention on the eastern reaches of the Mongol Empire, the central and western territories charted their own course. The Golden Horde, led by Batu Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, emerged as a dominant force in the western Eurasian steppe. Despite facing challenges from rising powers like Russia and Lithuania, the Golden Horde would endure until 1480, leaving a significant mark on the region. Meanwhile, the Ilkhanate, centered in Persia and founded by Hulagu, another grandson of Genghis Khan, grappled with threats from its southeastern neighbor, the Mamluk Sultanate. Dynastic disputes ultimately led to the disintegration of the Ilkhanate in 1335, paving the way for the rise of Timur and the Timurid Empire. The Chagatai Khanate, established by Chagatai, Genghis Khan's second son, remained true to its nomadic roots. However, internal conflicts and dynastic disputes led to its collapse in 1363, further fragmenting the Mongol Empire. Throughout their existence, the Western Khanates engaged in frequent border disputes and eventually adopted Islam as their state religion, adding another layer of complexity to their interactions. Even Yuan China, the heartland of the Mongol Empire, succumbed to internal strife and economic woes. The weak Ming dynasty seized the opportunity to assert its dominance, overthrowing Mongol rule in 1368. Despite their eventual decline, the Mongols left a lasting legacy on the world. Their vast empire facilitated the first significant connections between the East and West, fostering trade, cultural exchange, and the spread of ideas and technologies. Ambassadors, missionaries, merchants, and travelers traversed the vast expanse of the Mongol Empire, spreading knowledge and innovation. Gunpowder, paper, printing, and the compass found their way to Europe, reshaping the course of history. Even in cuisine, the Mongols made their mark, popularizing dishes like Ceylon broth stew across Asia. However, their legacy was not without its drawbacks, as the devastating Black Death, transmitted from remote China, ravaged Europe in the 14th century. Despite the challenges and consequences, the Mongol Empire is remembered fondly in Mongolia as a golden era.